This man said he was organizing a mob to kill 30,000 black people in Cincinnati. And now the FBI locked him up. This is 30-year-old Scott Michael Hannon. The FBI locked his ass up with the quickness. This man hopped online and made one of the wildest threats I ever seen. Ever. This man real live went online and posted that he was finna unalive 30,000 black people in Cincinnati. He was talking about the city needed some cleansing. And he was calling all of us apes. Nigga, this ain't Gotham City. He wanted it to be like that though. So y'all remember the fight that happened in Cincinnati, right? Some people posted that it was black men just terrorizing white men. It wasn't just one page, it was multiple pages that were saying it was black people just beating on whites. But y'all remember, it all started because that white man a black man in the face. But he didn't see it like that. He was watching all the pages that was saying the black people started it and the black people was just terrorizing shit. So instead of Scott asking questions or finding a reliable source, this man incite a racial violence. And now he's headed for a federal case. And that's not his first rodeo. They said last year, Mr. Scott had a knife thinking he was a ninja and tried to decapitate somebody by swinging at their neck. He already tried to get out on bond and he had some people that was going to help him. But the feds...
Alright, Shalom. First thing and foremost, giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to those elders of a great millstone that rule well. Gonna hop right into this. I just have some scriptures in mind, so we'll start there, Lord willing. Let's get, and this ain't gonna be nothing too long, man, just, something I saw. We're gonna keep it simple, right? Actually, I think it's in Second Esdras. Like I said, nothing too long, just a quick hit. 15, right? Because you saw that clip at the beginning. Some guy, so-called white man, he's trying to incite, a race, riot, right? Against so-called black people, right? After what happened, that big fight that happened in Cincinnati. You see? And hey, man, that could have been a setup, man. I'm just speaking as a man, though. That could be a psyop. Because we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, right? Bear with me. Okay, there it is. Hey, Kahala Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Second Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, right? For the sword and their destruction. And I'm going to try to, watch my words. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, because you know how YouTube be. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, you see? One people shall, that's the point. One people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, right? What's the modern day sword? It can be anything, right? It could be I probably can't even say that word, but a G-U-N, I'm just going to spell it out, G-U-N. Or it could be an actual sword, like, a knife, a machete, anything, man. Anything that can be used to as a weapon, right? That's what a sword equates to in today's day and age, right? Modern day. Right? Because it ain't gonna be a fight of people with swords and shields going out and fighting each other. Nah, man. That's that's old school. Verse 16. So kind of like the Purge, right? You've seen the Purge movies. It always shows that it's always so-called blacks versus so-called white people, right? Which it goes back biblically, Jacob versus Esau, right? Jacob being the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, Indian man, and Esau the so-called white man, right? For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. Yeah, these people gonna be at each other, man. You know? That's why we just read earlier. It said one people against another, right? One group, one race of people versus another a race of people. You see? Because if you saw any clips of that Cincinnati brawl, it was crazy. But hey, you know who started it? It was the so-called white man. But the news is only reporting where the so-called Negroes were beating the shit out of those people, right? Which they were defending themselves. You know, the way I look at it, the so-called black people were defending themselves because they were attacked first. You see? But Esau, the so-called white man, he always plays victim, man. That's his MO, man. He throws a rock, hides his hand, and then starts crying and points the finger. You see? Yeah, they shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, just like that guy in the clip. He was planning to unalive 30,000 so-called Negroes, man. You see? That's what I'm saying, man. Hey, man, if you can't see what's going on, man, hey, we better be praying, man. This shit crazy, man. Yeah, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. Yeah, they're not gonna care about what the government gotta say. They don't care about what law enforcement's gonna say. The governor, the president, they don't care, man. They're gonna take matters into their own hands. You see, as we're just about to read, look, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. You see, so these people are just gonna take matters into their own hands, right? In other words. A man shall desire, and I like verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. Hey, because when crazy, when shit gets SHTF, right? And people are at each other's throats, right? Kind of like the purge. Hey, the federal state government gonna have to shut shit down, man. Martial law, right? They're gonna have to set up checkpoints to make sure no one, is up to no good. It all ties together, man. You see? But yeah, man, like I said, hey, just a quick hit. And Lord's will be back with more, alright? Lord's willing. So with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to those elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.